Bag Lady. Today I'm going to be talking about the Noble Notions Sew and Stack, an airplane bag, grab and go sleeve, and the upcoming Cork Club. The fabrics by Katerina Rochella from her Indelible fabric line. The book Animal Quilts. I'll be showing you a demo on how to install the Emmeline Bags bag tags, and I have a great giveaway for you at the end. I'm Sarah Lawson from Sew Sweetness. Thanks so much for joining me for Sewcial Sunday, my weekly chat. Okay, so just as a friendly reminder, pretty much everything that I talk about during Sewcial Sunday are things that I've purchased myself, so I'm not paid to recommend things to you. These are just cool things that I've found that I want to share with you. So kicking off the chat, as always, is my notion of the week. And this is a product that I've had for about a year, and I use it to hold my bobbins for my sewing machine. So this is the Noble Notions Sew and Stack, and it's a two-tiered organizer for holding your bobbins, and it'll hold either metal or plastic bobbins. So here's the inside of my first layer, and hang on one second, sorry, we're having trouble with the focus on this one. There we go. Okay, alright, so here's the first layer of my sew and stack. Here's my bobbins on the inside. Let me put the lid back on so I can show you the bottom layer, but it's sort of like a rubber case. And the first layer snaps into the bottom layer, and this layer is only half full, so you can see what's holding the bobbins. There's little nubs on each row, and the nubs go in the middle of the bobbin right here. So I could be a little neater of winding my bobbins properly before I put them back in, but overall it's a handy case, and it holds plenty of bobbins, more than I have actually. So this is the Noble Notions Sew and Stack, and I see a lot of you are jumping in on the chat. Hello to Rebecca and everybody else joining me. Thanks so much for being with me on Sunday for Sewcial Sunday. I have a question for you. Since I just showed you my bobbin storage, let me know in the comments, how do you store your bobbins? Maybe you have one of those plastic all-purpose cases, the see-through ones. That's what I used to have for my bobbins. Maybe you keep them on top of your thread spools, or if you use something else to store your bobbins, let me know in the comments. I'm curious to see how everyone's keeping their bobbins organized. Okay, so a couple of projects that I wanted to show you that I made this week. This big airplane bag right here is, we were filming the video for our next 4-pack video bundle, and if you're new around here, our 4-pack video bundles are 4 PDF patterns with accompanying videos that we sell for a very limited time, so only for a week, and then the bundle goes away forever. We're going to be selling our next bundle in February, but the airplane bag will be part of that bundle. And the great thing about the bundles is the price for the bundle is $40, which is almost like buying the PDF pattern and getting the video for free, almost. But anyway, the airplane bag will be part of that. For my airplane bag, I use cork fabric for the bottom and for the handles. This is jeans blue cork from my shop, and then the main fabric is a quilting cotton, and it's designed by Tokyo Milk. And I've been saving up this print for quite a while. It's sort of a larger scale print, and I knew it needed to go on a really large bag, so I made this airplane bag in size regular. It comes in 2 different sizes. This is regular, and there's also long, which is just a little bit longer. Some people use these bags to hold a featherweight sewing machine. I'm going on a couple teaching trips starting in February, so I'm going to be using my new airplane bag for holding my clothes and my toiletries and other essentials. So this is the airplane bag. Another of the patterns that will be included in that 4-pack video bundle is the Crimson and Clover train cases. I've been getting lots of requests for that video, so we'll have that for you sometime in February. Okay, another project that I made in the past week is the Minikins grab and go sleeve, and I made a smaller one. This pattern was sort of intended for iPads or other devices, but I actually made mine for holding a book. So I am part of Book of the Month Club, and a lot of the books that they send out are pretty much the same dimensions, so length and height. The great thing about this pattern is that you just plug in the length and the height of what you want to put inside of it, and you go from there. So the pattern is completely custom to what you're putting inside. And so here's the book. I just wanted a little bag to tote around my books that I'm reading at the moment, and so that's what I made this grab and go sleeve for, I made this particular one for the grab and go sleeve Minikins video. So if you're a Minikins member, all the 12 of the videos have now been posted. The Minikins membership comes with the 12 PDF patterns as well as the videos, and the videos stay in your account forever, so you can watch them anytime. Here's another, let me get this out of the way. Let me hand this to my daughter over here. I made another of the grab and go sleeves for my mom's laptop. Let me shift it around this way so you can see, but again, this pattern fully depends on what you're putting inside, and so obviously this laptop is a whole lot bigger than that sleeve that I made for my book. So here's the other kind of version of something much larger than that first one that I showed you. Okay, so one more thing that I wanted to tell you about that I've been working on in the past week is we're going to be debuting our Cork Club on February 1st, which is this Thursday. So Cork Club is a 6-month subscription, and each month you'll be receiving 10 pieces of cork. We won't be doing any repeats for any of the 6 months, and so at the end of the 6 months you'll have 60 pieces with no repeats, with a great selection of colors and prints of the cork fabric. And we're sending pieces that are large enough to actually make something with. So each piece will be 9 inches by 7 inches. You'll get a swatch card with each month, and if you choose to, you can clip out a little, say, 1-inch square and glue it to your swatch card so you can save a little bit of each fabric to see what the colors are like before you order online from my shop. We'll also be including a free video each month, so a total of 6 free videos. And the videos will show you how to make a free project out of 1 piece of cork. So just a 9 by 7 inch piece, so little accessories and fun things. I have an eyeglass case planned, so a lot of fun projects, but that's included in the Cork Club subscription. And again, it's a 6-month club. The cost of each month is $38, which I feel it's a great value because for years I've been getting requests for selling little swatches, and rather than selling, say, like a 3-inch or 2-inch swatch to keep track of what the colors look like in person, we wanted to actually send something substantial enough that people could do something with. And we just don't have the space in our home to store 3-inch swatches to sell, but the Cork Club is sort of my solution to the swatch request. So that'll be debuting this Thursday, February 1st on my website. If you're a member of my newsletter, you'll be getting notification of that when it comes out. And if you're not already a newsletter subscriber, there's a link in the description and you can subscribe to my newsletter and find out all the news, new patterns, and new products coming out. Okay, so I've been asking lately, and let me know in the comments if you're a bag lady, and be proud about it. Say, I'm a bag lady. So let me know in the comments, but bag lady is comprised of not only bag makers, but if you're making small accessories like pouches. I've been getting really excited about not only seeing the new bag makers, but I see a lot of the hardcore bag makers as well. So let me know in the comments, and we want to share the bag making love and the sewing love and inspiration, and that's why we're here for Sewcial Sunday with you every week. Okay, so the fabric that I wanted to show you from my stash is an oldie but goodie, but it is still available, and so I have a link in the description if you like this fabric and you'd like to add it to your stash. But this is fabric designed by Caterina Roccella, and it's from her Indelible fabric line. I've had this for a few years, but I've always been a fan of birch tree fabrics, and this has birch trees and birds in it. I love the colors. I don't have every single print from the line, but I have a few that I wanted to show you. Here's another one. I like text print fabrics. This isn't exactly a text print, but it's sort of, I don't know if it's an architectural drawing or what, but I really love it, and I love the dark gray background to it as well. Here's another of the prints, and this is the same fabric that I used for that grab and go sleeve that I showed you. It's got a text print background overlaid by other images like the deer, butterflies, and this is sort of reminds me of a doily. And I also have this fabric in the other colorway, which has got sort of like a cream background to it. So again, this is Indelible, designed by Caterina Roccella for Art Gallery Fabrics, and it's still available even though it's been out for a few years. And there's a link in the description if you'd like to find that fabric. Okay, so earlier today my daughter had her first horse show. It was a schooling show, so it's just other members from the same stable. And she actually got a third place ribbon and a first place ribbon in the 2 classes that she was in. So she was so excited about winning ribbons. And then we went out to dinner at an Italian restaurant after the show. She had all of her grandparents there, so it was a lot of fun. And it was a great day, and it was a really well put together event. And the horses got a lot of treats after that. All right, so the book review for this week, I'm going to step over here and show you the book in our overhead camera. But the book review for this week is Animal Quilts, and it's foundation paper piecing. So the first thing that I really love about this book is that the artwork for the blocks and the quilts is on a disc in the back of the book, which is really nice for printing, especially for foundation paper piecing if you're using your computer paper for that. But here's just a quick mosaic of all the quilt projects in the book. I really love that the beginning of this book takes you through all the basics, the equipment and things you'll need for foundation paper piecing, and also step photos for a beginner's tutorial on how to actually do foundation paper piecing. So there's several pages for that, and then the book gets you onto the quilts. So alright, so here's the quilted projects. The panda is the first project in the book. And let me show you a few of my other favorites. So these are all, as you can see from the diagram, these are all multiple pieces that you'll be assembling using the foundation paper piecing method. And this butterfly really amazes me because I feel like I'm looking at a poster or a computer graphic, but it's actually a quilt. It's so beautiful. All right, let me flip through some of the other projects to show you. And I'll point out a few of my other favorites. I love this owl quilt as well. This was the one on the cover. My daughter, of course, loves the horse quilt. We'll probably make that in maybe a dark brown fabric to match one of the horses that she rides. Another owl with a mouse, and then my other favorite, let me show you, is a swan. This one I love. So it's just one block, but mirror image for the bottom of the swan's reflection in the lake, which is, I love this one so much. And I can't wait to make a project from this book. But anyway, this is Animal Quilts. If you're interested in it, the link will be in the description. And there's 12 quilting projects in there, quilts or mini quilts. All right, so that's the book review for this week. In light of that book review, I'd like to know, and let me know in the comments, have you ever done any foundation paper piecing? Let me know yes or no. So I really love foundation paper piecing. Most of the experience that I have with it is for foundation paper piece stars, which I find to be quite easy to accomplish. Some of the foundation paper piecing that I've done in the past, like for animals, I made a raccoon mini quilt using foundation paper piecing for my dad. I can't remember if it was for Father's Day or for his birthday, but that took a bit more time and it was a little bit harder to line up, but I always love making paper piece stars. So let me know in the comments if you've ever done any foundation paper piecing. Okay, just as a quick reminder, there's 2 days left for the Minikins I Spy Challenge for January. If you have the Minikins bundle already, the challenge is to make one of the I Spy pouches, and there will be a random drawing for everyone that enters a project for a $100 gift certificate to my website at sewsweetness.com. So you have 2 more days to enter. Please do. We have almost 100 entries so far, and it's really fun looking through all of the different photographs, seeing all the different fabric choices, and also the things that people are choosing to put inside their I Spy pouches. So not just sewing notions, but I've seen thread, nail polish, knitting needles, so lots of possibilities for putting in your I Spy pouch. Okay, so I'd like to invite you, if you enjoy these Sewcial Sunday chats, to hit the share button, share this video with all of your sewing friends, and let's bring some more people on every week to watch the show and share in the sewing love. Okay, my demo for this week is how to install Emmeline Bags bag tags. And by what I mean by the bag tags, this is the Baker Street bag that I have a free video for that we posted after Christmas, and I used one of the Emmeline Bags bag tags on this bag. They're really easy to install, so I just wanted to give you a quick demo on how I put this one in the front of my bag. Okay, so I'm using cork fabric, but you could use quilting cotton as well, and this is just the front of the Baker Street bag. And I've already attached the fabric to foam interfacing. So you want to have the fabric attached to the whatever interfacing that the pattern calls for. And as soon as you prep all of your pieces, you're ready to install the tag. So I'm going to use my ruler to make a mark where I'm going to install that tag. So I think 2 inches down from the top edge. And you can install it anywhere, just wherever visually that you like how it looks better. And I'm just going to make a center marking. So this is 2 inches down, and this is just the center of the bag. And here it is in the package. Okay, so let me take this out and show you how to install it. Okay, so this is what comes in the package. So this is the bag tag with the prongs in the back. And it also comes with a metal washer like this. Okay, so I'm going to center my washer on the markings that I made. And then there's 2 little slits in the washer, and so I'm going to use my chalk. Actually, my chalk marker is a little too wide. Let me grab another pen. I'm going to make 2 markings for where I'm going to be making holes for the slits. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my seam ripper and make holes where the prongs are going to go, and it's always a good idea to start with a smaller slit. You can always make a small slit bigger, but if you get too ambitious and make a really large slit, there's no turning back from that. Okay, so to make the slit, I just insert the seam ripper and just drag it a little bit. Alright, so let's check the size of that. So here's the bag tag. I'm going to insert it through the right side of the fabric. Just like that. If you are using a quilting cotton, I'm using cork, which doesn't fray, but if you're using a quilting cotton, I always recommend, if you're making slits in your fabric, to use a seam sealant. So I'm using I like using Fray Chalk. Fray Block is another brand, but if you're using quilting cotton, you'll just want to put a dab on each of the slits before you install the prongs. Okay, so I'm going to flip to the wrong side of the fabric, slide that washer on there, and then it's helpful to use, sometimes I lean this against the side of the table. I'm just going to use my seam ripper to kind of push this open. There you go. And I like to open the prongs outward. Okay, so that's installed, and this is what it looks like from the front. And let me zoom out again and show you another product from M-Line Bags that I'm going to add to my zipper right over here. Okay, so here's the zipper pull on the bag. They also make another product. This is a handmade zipper pull to match that tag on the front of the bag. And it just sort of has a lobster clasp right here. So I'm just going to attach that to my zipper. And it's a great way to add a little bit of extra bling to your handmade bags. Just like that. And it's also nice having that larger pull over there. Okay, so those are the tags by M-Line Bags, and if you're interested in that, you can find it in the link in the description. Just click on that link and it'll take you to the M-Line Bags website. Okay, so I'd like to answer some questions that have been coming through the chat today. I saw one actually before we even started the chat. Barbara wanted to know, how do you know what size rivet to use on a bag? So I've got a bag over here with rivets on it. 99% of the time I use 8mm rivets. So rivets are these metal studs over here. And you can use them anywhere. I like using them on handles, especially like this. So 8mm is the size that I use. And I have a free bag on YouTube talking about my rivet press and the different sizes of rivets and grommets. So if you're interested in that, check out my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/sewsweetness. Okay, let's see some other questions that are coming through. Nancy wants to know, what does it say on the tag? The tag says handmade on it. There's some other sayings that M-Line Bags has as well, but that one says handmade. Sorry if you couldn't see it. Maybe the glare with the lighting was sort of disrupting that. Rihanna wants to know, is that bag released now? Not sure which one you're talking about. Maybe the red bag. The Renegade bag is going to also be in that next 4-pack video bundle with the airplane bags, so that'll be sometime in February. And I'll be talking about the 4-pack video bundle before it comes out on Sewcial Sunday as well. Snowflake wanted to know, where do you get your fabric from? I like going to quilt shops, but I also like ordering fabric online. I know a lot of quilt shop owners that own online fabric stores, so a few of my favorites are Fat Quarter Shop, Stash Fabrics, and Hawthorne Threads. So those are all online shops with a really large selection. I like buying a lot of fabric from them, and I also buy fabric from quilthome.com, and I like buying Tula Pink fabric from Quilt Home. Karen wants to know, what hole punch do you use? I'm not sure, Karen, if you're asking for the rivets for making the holes before I install the rivets, but my tabletop press has a hole punch die, and I have it in actually 3 different sizes for the hole punch die, and it goes in my tabletop press. I don't have my press handy right now, but I also have a YouTube video showing all of that, and I talk about the sizes for the hole punches as well. Darlene wants to know, where do you get your thread at? So my thread's behind me on the bookcase back here. A good place to get Aurifil thread, which is what I use, is either Fat Quarter Shop or Red Rock Threads. Red Rock Threads has pretty much every thread in every different size and color, so if you're interested in especially a lot of colors, Red Rock Threads would be a good option for that. And Shirley wants to know, what will the Cork Club cost? The Cork Club will be $38 a month plus shipping. So if you're in the US, I think the shipping will be, I think it's about $260 or so for shipping, and obviously if you're worldwide, not in the US, it'll be a little bit more, but we're auto billing on the every month the $38, so you don't pay the whole 6 months up front. It's $38 a month for the Core Club. Diana wants to know, have you ever used large buttons as bag feet? I have not, but I've seen that done before and it looks really nice. I just haven't remembered to do it myself, but I'd love to use buttons for purse feet. That's a great idea. All right, let's see if there's any other questions coming through. Terry wants to know, have you tried patchwork with the cork? Thought that might be cool. That might be cool. I will keep that in mind. Actually, I'll write myself a note for that, to try patchwork for the cork fabric. I think it would be really interesting, especially to sew it right sides together and then cut it out for a bag. All right, lots of other questions coming through on Facebook and YouTube. Emily Ann says, can you subscribe for 1 month? That question was relating to Core Club, and we are working on something like that, but we want to get to the subscribers first. I honestly have no idea how many people will be signing up for the subscription for Core Club, and so we just want to be sure that it's manageable and that we can get the orders out, and then we'll do standalone months, I'm sure, after we get sort of the first 2 months down, I think. Nicole wants to know, can you pay for all 6 months of the Core Club at one time? We actually have our website set up to rebill, so unfortunately you can't pay for it all at one time, but it'll just be the once a month payments of the $38 plus the shipping. Gemma wants to know, will the Core Club be available to Australians? Yes, it will be available worldwide. And then Pat says, what size are the cork pieces for the club? So here's the pieces right here. They're each going to be 9 by 7 inches, and each month you get 10 different cork colors, as well as that swatch card that I mentioned, and the video for the project to make something with the 9 by 7 inch piece of cork. Okay, Dawn wanted to know, how about a glitter vinyl club? Yes, we will be doing a glitter vinyl club and probably a faux leather club as well. We carry over 20 colors of the glitter vinyl, so that will likely be just not a subscription, but like just 1 month. So we'll probably do just the 20 different swatches of the glitter in just the 1 month. Okay. Miguel wants to know, how do you sew thicker material around the corners without having the material bunch up or running off the material? That's a good question. I'm not sure if you're talking about like rounded corners like the bottom of this bag. I always find it helpful when sewing the front of the bag to the side panel of the bag to make notches in the curve. So notches are little V's, and you're cutting it usually halfway up the seam allowance. So if the bag seam allowance is a 1/2 inch, then those little V's would be cut about 1/4 of an inch high, and just where the curves are. No need to cut little V's on the straight edges. Hope that's what you meant by the question. Carla wanted to know, how about using paper piecing and quilting fabrics for bags? I think that would be awesome. I have some bags planned with sort of reverse applique, foundation paper piecing. I actually have a foundation paper piecing bag that I had in a magazine a few years ago, and I actually have the rights back to the pattern, and so we're going to be turning that into a free pattern and video sometime soon. I'm not sure when, hopefully this spring, but that'll be a free video for that foundation paper piecing bag. Rachel wants to know, what foot do you have for Juki to sew cork and vinyl? I use a Teflon foot. I was talking about my sewing machine last week and I showed the Teflon foot. You can also use a walking foot. The great thing about cork, and it's kind of weird, but certain times of the year I find that I can use my regular sewing machine foot. I'm not sure if it depends on the humidity or the climate, but a lot of times, especially when it's cold, I can use my regular sewing machine foot for sewing the cork. But unfortunately for vinyl, I always have to use my Teflon foot. And the Teflon foot, it just kind of looks like a white plastic foot. And the material, the Teflon, helps it glide over not sticky fabrics, but you know, the vinyl and leather has a certain kind of finish that the regular metal foot just kind of sticks to. Dawn wants to know, what does the glitter vinyl look like? I don't think I have any up here or a project with it. I'll try to show something next week with the glitter vinyl, but it's just a really thin canvas-backed fabric with glitter, and the glitter isn't on the top of the fabric so that it would come off. It's actually embedded inside of the vinyl, and we have it in 22 colors currently, and it's a lot of fun to work with, and like I said, it's even thinner than the cork, so it's really easy to work with. Pat wants to know, what size needle and thread do you use for faux leather? I use either a Schmetz Microtex needle or an Organ 9014 needle, and I like using the Aurifil thread for top stitching or the bag construction. Connie wants to know, do you use cotton thread for bag making? Yep, I use Aurifil. Let me grab one from back here. This is the Aurifil thread. The 40 weight thread is on the green spool, and the 50 weight thread, which is thinner than the 40 weight, the 50 weight thread comes on the orange spool. So the 40 weight is what I prefer, but I have some 50 weight, so I'll use this in a pinch for making a bag. But the 40 weight's a little bit thicker. It's kind of funny, the numbers are in reverse, so the smaller number, the thicker the thread. Terry wants to know, do you think you could applique with the cork? Yes, you for sure could. Maybe I'll try to work on some of that for showing you, but yeah, it would be really easy to machine top stitch a piece of cork because it doesn't fray on top of a bag, and I think that would look really nice. All right, let's see if there's any more questions, and then we'll get to the giveaway. Diane says, you are a very busy bag lady. I try to be, and we're trying to shoot as many videos as possible because we've been getting great feedback on the videos, the step-by-step videos. Lindsay May says, I'm starting my first bag today. Oh, which bag are you making? I hope it turns out great. Let me know. You can, if you finish a bag, either post it in my Facebook group, the link's in the description, or feel free to email me. I love seeing completed bags come through my email, and I'd love to see what you're making and what kind of fabrics that you're using for your bags. All right, let's see if there's any more questions coming through. Anita says, can you get bag tags that are blank for engraving? I'm not sure about that. I'll get back to you in a future chat. I'll investigate that a little bit more. I do see people get custom bag tags made for them, but I think they buy in sort of larger amounts, so I'm not sure if you can just get a few engraved for you. Vicki wants to know, if using different types of zippers, do you need to adjust your pattern? It depends on the pattern. So for example, this Baker Street bag that I showed a couple times already, I usually use a number 3 zipper in this particular bag, but if you use a number 4 or a number 4.5 zipper, which is a handbag zipper, it would work as well. Some patterns call for a specific size of a zipper, like that grab and go that I showed. Where did it go? I think I pushed it out of the way. But this is the bigger one. This grab and go, I actually specifically ask for a handbag zipper because you need the extra width that the handbag zipper gives. So I would say just check the pattern. Some patterns specify a certain zipper. Colleen says, you rock getting the videos done. Yeah, we're trying to shoot several days a week with the videos. My husband helps me. He also helps me with the Facebook Live, so he's putting the questions on the screen, so he's choosing the questions. I hope he gets to as many of them as possible. All right, so we'll end with the questions for now. I try to answer as many as I can for every Facebook Live. Thanks so much for joining me, and thanks for asking your really great questions. Okay, the giveaway for last week, the giveaway prize from last week was the Penguin and Fish embroidery kit, and the winner was a viewer from YouTube. It was Pamela Tabor. So Pamela, if you're watching, email me or I'll try to get in contact with you for your mailing address for your prize. So congratulations, Pamela. The giveaway for this week, and let me grab it from over here. I'll show it in the overhead view, but the giveaway from this week is a prize pack from Betts White. So this is a book by Betts White called Present Perfect, 25 Gifts to Sew and Bestow. The next item is a newer item from Betts White. It's the Llama Luma, which is, let me flip to the back of it so you can see maybe some of the graphics. It's a pom-pom maker, which is really clever. You use the legs and the body of the llama to make pom-poms, and that's really cute. That's made of wood. And some fat quarters from a chino. So this is all part of the giveaway prize. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is let me know in the comments, and your comment will be your entry. Let me know in the comments, do you use yarn to knit or crochet? So just let me know the answer to that question in the comments. I'll choose one random winner at the end of the day this Saturday. I think it's February 4th. So we'll draw a winner and we'll announce it on next Sunday's Sewcial Sunday chat. Before we sign off, I just wanted to remind you, please watch this Tuesday. I have a special guest for Facebook Live for Ask Sarah. Nathan Owen, who's an accountant and Chief Financial Officer, will be joining me for a live chat. I have certain questions for him. The first half of the chat will be talking about different accounting. So for example, if you sell bags and other items at craft fairs or online, or if you take maybe custom orders from people at your workplace for sewn items, how do you know if you should be reporting your income for accounting purposes? And what's the difference between a hobby and a business? So I'll be talking about that topic with Nathan, and the second half of the chat on Tuesday, he'll be taking your questions live. So if you have any questions like if you can save your receipts from your fabric purchases and claim those as expenses, things like that, that's what we'll be talking about this Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Time on Ask Sarah. So thanks so much for joining me for Sewcial Sunday. I'll see you again next Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Happy sewing.